Hello, my name is Brian Bennet, and I am the founder and CEO of Thrive Agritech. Thrive Agritech is an LED technology company based here in New York City that designs and manufactures LED systems for all different types of plant production. We work with greenhouse growers and also indoor plant production facilities, producing crops ranging from cannabis to food production crops like leafy greens and tomatoes, to floriculture producing all different types of flowers. Today I want to talk about two main topics. The first is using lighting to increase the profitability and plant quality within your facility. And then I want to get into the regulations and standardization around producing cannabis, especially producing high quality cannabis in the heavily regulated international markets. Okay, let's jump right into it. There are a number of different variables you can control within your farm to increase plant quality and your company's profitability. Everything from temperature and humidity to the nutrients to your planting schedule and plant density. But lighting is one of the most important and most controllable variables within your farm. When I say lighting is controllable, what I mean is with artificial lighting, you can guarantee that your plant is receiving exactly the same amount of photons each and every day out of the year. Not only the same amount, but actually the proper amount. We know for growing the cannabis plant, they need a minimum of 15 moles per day for the vegetative stage and 20 moles of light per day for the flowering stage. If you increase the amount of light, you can increase both plant yield and plant quality, but we know the minimum amount required each and every day out of the year. So the question you have to ask yourself is, are you receiving that now? And if not, what are you receiving? Luckily, that data is known. Through the solar panel industry, we have great historical information on exactly how much solar radiation is hitting every area of the planet, basically each and every day out of the year. We can use the solar radiation data to calculate exactly how much photosynthetic energy is hitting those same areas. With that information, we can tell you on an average day, an average season, an average month, how many photons are hitting your plant canopy. We call this the DLI. The DLI is the total number of photons accumulated over a 24-hour period. With that information, we can figure out if you need to, and to what extent, artificial lighting is needed to supplement the natural amount of light being provided by the sun. Okay, let's assume after this analysis, the conclusion is you need to add artificial lighting to improve and maintain the quality of the plants within your facility. The next step is a lighting model. In 2020, the computer systems and the computer-aided design around photosynthetic lighting has become very advanced. With the proper setup, you can model within 3 to 5% accuracy exactly how much light the artificial lighting fixtures will provide. If you were designing a hospital or a school or really any building, every single lighting designer uses computer-aided design in order to specify the correct amount of light. The exact same thing is true with lighting for your farm. So after you know how much light you need from the DLI calculations, you can do a lighting model and provide exactly the right number of fixtures. This does two things. You're able to calculate the right number of fixtures, but also the correct uniformity on the plant canopy. This is sometimes overlooked within the greenhouse environment. When you're installing artificial lighting, you want to be absolutely sure that some areas of your crop aren't receiving more light than other areas of your crop. If that happens, consistency goes out the window. You want to make sure that every single plant, regardless of the location within your farm, is seeing the exact same illumination level every day out of the year. That increases profitability. If you're providing too much light in one area and not enough in the other, you're both wasting energy and also wasting plant growth capacity. The lighting model that any advanced lighting manufacturer can provide will really help guarantee that your farm is designed to the highest level of performance. We do all of this engineering for one important reason, and it's about not over-specifying the right amount of light. The amount of energy needed to produce artificial lighting can be considerable. And that considerable amount of energy comes with a considerable amount of cost. And that really gets to the main reason why people are using LEDs. LED technology has advanced so much in the last several years. It has gone from a relatively moderate level of efficiency to by far and away the most efficient lighting technology out there. I think you probably see this in your everyday life. Most of the lights in your home now are probably LED lighting, and for the same reason why you would use LED lighting in your farm. The efficiency is much, much higher. It's not only efficiency that is causing LEDs to become more and more prominent within greenhouse growing, it's also lifespan. LED technology is different than technologies of the past in that it can last for many, many thousands of hours. It is not at all unlikely if you installed an LED lighting fixture today that you will be using that same lighting fixture in the year 2030. This is really important because of two main reasons. One is cost. LED technology, although it's much more efficient and can last much longer, also costs more upfront. So it's really important that you can spread that cost out over as many years as possible. And there's some ways you can guarantee this. Many LED lighting fixture manufacturers have a lot of third-party test data on reliability. Everything from the LEDs themselves to exactly how long and how bright each of those LEDs will be over the course of the next many years, but also the electronics within the fixture to make sure none of the electronics burn out. There's a lot of data and accelerated aging methodologies that manufacturers can use to show to you that the fixture will last a long time. And then there's the warranty. If a fixture is going to last a long time, a manufacturer generally warrants that fixture for a long time. And that's important because that sort of guarantees how long, at minimum, you can spread the cost of that fixture out. So these are the main reasons why you would use lighting, and especially LED lighting within your greenhouse farm. It is a very efficient technology that can last for many, many years and provide exactly the right amount of illumination to grow the highest quality and most consistent plants possible. What that leads to, in many cases, is higher profitability. When you're growing a repeatable, high-quality plant with very little energy, generally speaking, you're going to have a profitable cannabis grow operation. The next thing you have to consider is that you're producing a plant in a very highly regulated market. And within that regulated market, there are many, many rules and standards around producing the crop. GMP, or Good Manufacturing Practices, is one of the main regulations on the international market for importing or exporting or really just trading cannabis in general. This is especially true when you're talking about pharmaceutical cannabis. And this makes sense. If you're producing a pharmaceutical, you want the manufacturer of that pharmaceutical to follow good practices. You want to be sure, regardless of when that product was produced or who produced it, that it is repeatable and consistent and safe and healthy. LED lighting can help growers achieve GMP certification in a few different ways. We already touched on one of the main ways, and that's consistency. Because LED lasts for so long and can be designed in a way to provide the exact same illumination levels month after month and year after year, you're able to produce a crop with a high level of consistency, which is one of the trademarks of GMP. But also, it has to do with another aspect of reliability, really in two ways. One, LED technology can be made to be waterproof. And that's really important because you can disinfect and clean the fixtures with high-powered water jets, as an example, on a regular basis. That means any dust or dirt or perhaps mold or fungus that could somehow be on top of the lighting fixture will never make its way down into the plant because you're able to clean and disinfect in a way that you can't with other lighting technologies. There's also a factor that's inherent to LED in general, and that's the fact that there's no hazardous materials inside the LED technology. There's no cadmium, there's no mercury, there's no lead. Almost all LED fixtures are RoHS compliant. That's not true with a fluorescent or a high-pressure sodium lighting technology that have some of those heavy metals. That's kind of scary because if one of those bulbs were to break and spread the heavy metals onto the cannabis crop, then there's so many safety concerns in producing any product with that cannabis product. So LED lighting helps achieve GMP because there are never any of those heavy metals. And most fixtures can be made to be shatterproof, meaning that there's no glass. So you don't have to worry about an employee bumping into the fixture, breaking, and have shards of glass falling into the canopy like you would with previous lighting technologies. I'd like to try to wrap up over the next couple of minutes to leave time for any questions people may have on LED lighting or the technology, but also because it's starting to get dark out here in New York City. I hope I communicated in this presentation a few things, but maybe most importantly, that with properly constructed LED technology in a well-designed facility, you can not only increase the quality of your plants, but you can also increase the profitability by efficiently using lighting technology. And when you increase the quality and profitability of your company, you end up producing really amazing products that customers love and can really help treat many medical conditions. Beyond that, by using LED technology, you can create a product with good manufacturing practices that's applicable to anywhere on the world stage. That means you can not only produce a high quality plant, but produce a high quality plant that's safe for people to use time and time again, whether it's produced now or produced many years from now. And maybe what gets me most excited is the fact that this can be done sustainably. Cannabis is a major energy consumer everywhere around the world, and by using proper technology and proper engineering,